Right.
So Danielle, I want to see your setup for your little iPod recording station there that you had last week.
Oh. Yeah, you don't want to see that. It was tricky.
It looked better than most things I've seen.
I came up with it pretty quickly. I'm surprised, but it included a selfie stick. Yeah, that's kind of how it happened.
That's quite all right. I've done worse. And been paid for it, too. That's even better. Okay, so I'm going to throw in, what do you think? We're 12 minutes in. Do you want to wait for Patrick and then we'll start the recording? Do you have anything, do you want to, any pressing concerns before he gets on board? Anything else?
Maybe if we just go over what we have to go over, and then
Hang on a second.
And then when he comes in, we'll just put him in. Because no one ever said our sessions had to be, an hour long. So we can just have a shorter session. Oh, I can't hear you, Patrick. Hello?
Sorry, Mom called.
Oh, okay. We don't have to have an hour-long recorded session.
No.
It can just be shorter once he jumps in, and it will be shorter because we have already talked about certain things.
Yep. So, since I haven't caught up at all with this week's stuff, Blackboard. Because really the big concern for this week is the presentation on Friday, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's...
I don't know how she's like... I mean, it's at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, what's that, 2 o'clock for you?
Yeah.
How does that work for any Pacific people?
Poorly. Yes.
Don't you have, work, probably?
Yeah. That'll have to take off of, Come on and do it, Again, that goes back to my whole not doing an East Coast school again.
Yeah.
But I know now. Before it was that I was doing NCU, which is just down the street, so they're my time zone. But then I was also doing Regis, which is Colorado, so they weren't that bad at all. They were only about an hour ahead, and that's...
I just would think she would be sensitive. I mean, with her...
I haven't heard the word.
That's her time zone. So you think that she...
That's true. She's California, too, so I don't know why...
thinking about those kinds of things, yeah.
I think she's more concerned with you guys on the East Coast, where, okay, well, I got to make sure it accommodates for them, and thinking about that instead of thinking about herself. And hey, by the way, everybody else who's on the West Coast too. But it is, needs of the many versus the needs of the few, I suppose. But okay, so I'm just getting into Blackboard now. Because again, I just got off work myself, so got off work and then scrambled home with the idea that I was going to do dinner afterwards, and then I did dinner before. So. Module 6. We still have 3 weeks in this class. And it feels like this is the end right now. So I'm not exactly sure what else we're supposed to be doing over the next few weeks.
Hey, Mom.
It's odd, Cindy. I can hear people yelling at you better than you can.
I've got my earplugs in. Actually, I'm trying to ignore her. I'm working on my stuff here.
Oops. Ignoring you. I turned everybody outside. I can still do that. Let me see here. I'm going over the to-do list. There's, the only thing is present your new media presentation.
Yeah, it's very simple this week, which is a relief.
Yes.
One
'Cause
thing.
I gotta get caught up on 631 too. And mind you, we only have 4 days before that one happens. And actually I get tomorrow, the next day, and the next day to prepare for that.
Are you guys
What's that?
31 class?
Yeah, I'm in 631.
Harold, Patrick, and I both have both of those.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I took that, like, it was either the summer or last spring I took it.
Yep. Yeah, it's supposed to be a prereq for 633, but I think a lot of folks just take them at the same time.
I've done
And
that.
that's when it's supposed to be taken anyway. And I'm doubling up on a lot of the work. You know, my research paper in the other class is strangely enough about iPad in the classroom. Imagine that. And I got a bunch of good stuff this week. What kills me usually on research papers is that survey of secondary literature, because I always want to find an argumentative opinion, a dissenting opinion. And on a lot of these things, like working with the Chinese, which I did for my bachelor's degree, you can't find dissenting opinions on it because everybody says you've got to do it the Chinese way. But luckily, a lot of folks, including Los Angeles School District, have had issues with iPads in the classroom so far. So I'm able to bring that in as, hey, it doesn't always work out that way. I guess they spent something like $3 billion on iPads and curriculum. So Apple's probably happy about that.
Does anyone have Patrick's phone number?
I do.
Yeah.
Just see if there's like a time frame, because if he's going to be a little bit later, then we just need to get going.
Okay, call him. So, Friday, we're presenting our own new media.
Nope, we're doing it as a group.
Okay.
We did our own project write-up, but we're collaborating to make one presentation.
So tonight, that's what we'll be figuring out?
Yeah. And again, I'm going to pull this stuff up, this assignment appendix.
He didn't pick up.
The directions are very simple. So if something comes up after it's done and graded that says, oh, you missed this, this, and this, I'm going to be so mad because this is the shortest set of directions, and so I don't see where we can be missing anything.
Submit your multimedia presentation via the Blackboard New Media Presentation Submission link. Oh, so we got to get this turned in by 2 o'clock Thursday.
Yeah. But I think I read somewhere else that as long as we give the presentation before any time up until the live class,
2 o'clock, yeah.
then it's fine. Yeah. But I don't know. We'll see.
One way or the other, I got to have mine in by at least midnight the night before because like I said, I'm working all that morning.
Right. So it wouldn't even work. I couldn't. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I couldn't do anything on Friday.
Yep.
Anyway for it. So.
Yeah, it's got to be done by Thursday night.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm looking at the rubric for that in the appendix, which is misspelled, by the way. Assignment appendixes? No. Come on, collegiate. So demonstration and summary. Provide demonstration and summary for the tool that includes a complete, thorough description of the features and general usage. Literature is used to support assertions. I think that's all in what we have there, right? Where we show off We just take bits and pieces of all the 4 pieces of media from this past week. If you guys have any slides that you used in what you were doing, or any, really what I need is a couple of slides from Patrick and from Danielle, and then I think we've got just about everything we need for the general description of it. So we've got those, and then mine are going to be slides too. Once we have those, then that's fine. And what's that?
Slides from what?
Slides showing just, the iPad with some of the things that you were highlighting last week. So a slide with an app.
We're all just making slides, you mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's all we're trying to do there is just get those together and something consistent. And then I'll schmutz it over, and if I got to Photoshop some things in and do that sort of thing, that's fine. But I just need, your idea of how you want to represent each of the 4 stages that we did over this past week.
Okay.
So I need 2 slides from you and 2 slides from Cindy, and then I'm going to throw in 2 slides, and then we'll kind of blend all that in together.
Okay. So how are we going to break it down? Who's doing what slide categories?
Same thing as we did last week, where it was, we wanted to show overall how we're going to do it. So this is our Weebly site. This is where you can find everything. This is how we're going to step through these stages. We're going to certify everybody on these 4 points, and that's the media that we just did yesterday. Give me like two slides that you feel best represent these. So for Cindy, it's going to be easy. Here's the front and the back, and here's the general layout. Then it gets to Patrick, and he talks. Or wait, who's second? Patrick's second, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm second.
Oh.
No, I'm built-in apps. That's right. So I'm built-in apps, so I can show off. Hey, here's the 2 most effective apps, whether it's Mail and the book reader, or however you want to do it that way. And actually, I don't want to do book reader. I want Danielle to have book reader and show you can use Amazon or you can use iTunes Store. Because what we're doing is at that point in step 1, in step 4 of step 1. You show, okay, here's where we start to break off and where we start to get into more things that you can do with it other than just what's built in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you specifically want the app book reader to be represented in the...
Give me 2 that were from the YouTube video that you put together yesterday.
Sorry, say that one more time.
2 that were from the YouTube video that you posted yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And again, it's just a kind of summation of that.
In Class Dojo. So, sorry, I thought you mentioned book reader, whatever that was, and you wanted that.
No, if it was in your thing, then yeah, we'll take it. But otherwise.
Yeah, I just had the 2.
Okay.
All right.
And that'll be perfectly fine. And then Cindy, I've got your stuff already because that's basically what Danielle put together, and then you had the video for it. So it's a matter of, okay, well, here, let's describe the iPad, and we'll tell, okay, we go into depth of this is how the home button works, this is how everything else works. We want to make sure you have consistent verbiage throughout, so you're not just saying, oh, the roundy thing on the bottom. No, when I hit the home button, for those teachers who, like I just talked to today. There were some who had just had a cow full of iPads rolled in, and they didn't have any training on it. They didn't have anything else. They just said, here, do something. So I know they're out there because they're in my school district. But yeah, so everybody knows exactly how to use an iPad, and you have consistent verbiage, and you know exactly what's built into it, because another part of the conversation I had today was, well, I don't have any apps. Well, yeah, you got a ton of apps built in. Use those, and when you run out of those, then we'll talk. But I will put together like a little quad split, so it'll be like that, and then have 4 pieces of the things that are like Outlook, or excuse me, like Office. So your sheets and your numbers and. No, wait, it's numbers, and then pages, numbers, pages, the stuff that's like PowerPoint, Keynote, thank you. Still learning the verbiage, even though I put together a presentation last night, but yes, so I'll put together one of those, and then like a mail or something else, just something fairly quick. And what I have in mind is to just have a bare basics background, and then have the outline of a iPad for like 7 or 8 slides, and just chunk through and do do a slideshow of here's the button, here's this, here's that, and now we've gotten you into the basics, and now we're getting into the more advanced stuff like what Danielle's put together. So,
did you say you were going to compile the PowerPoint?
Yeah, I can do that.
Wow, thanks. That's huge from my end.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, we've basically got everything from you. In fact, I would rather just go ahead and get some stuff off the official Apple website, and then do that, and then I can just use their already built stuff.
When we send you like the 2 or 3 slides or whatever it ends up being, it doesn't even matter what it looks like or formatted, right? Because you're going to have to copy and paste it into your own, right? You just need the information from the slide.
Yep. I'll need as much source information as you can give me. If you can give me a picture of what you intend it to look like, that'll be fine too. And of course, the biggest picture you can give me. That's kind of key, and that's why I'm going back to the Apple website for Cindy's portion especially. But then a little bit of a write-up too, based off of the media project that we just did last night. So for your 2 slides, please emphasize this portion of it. Then for Danielle's portion of it, please emphasize these 2. And wow, that's some fancy boxers back there in the background there.
In mine?
Oh, those aren't boxers. Oh my God, those are khaki. Oh, khaki khakis.
He doesn't even know he's on
picture.
Byron, you're on film with my classmates. He thought you were in your boxers. He would have a shirt on.
He didn't have to dance.
Yeah, he would have a shirt on if he realized he was being photographed. Hey, Harold, I just said, when you say a slide, is that what you mean, what I just sent you?
Nope, hang on just a second. Let me take a look at that. Yes, very similar. So again, what I plan on doing is taking that iPad and kind of, as we go through, it'll be the same picture of the iPad, and it'll just keep changing. So I have a basic frame of this is iPad, and then I'll add the arrows, then it'll make a transition, and it'll still be the same iPad sitting there, and then we'll talk about the apps, and then we'll talk about how to get to other stuff, and we'll talk about what Danielle talked about just last night. So
would you prefer me sending you one that is not labeled then?
Well, that's what I said. I'll find, to match what I'm doing, I'm going to find another one that looks similar to it. So I'll probably pull all that from the Apple website. But
so do I not need to send you a slide then?
Probably not. I'm going to doctor up whatever I can find and make sure that I have it in there. Send me, like what you just did, with how you wanted to emphasize that, whether it's from that video that you just did, that you just posted last night, that you pulled off from the other guy there, whatever you want to emphasize in that, so that it sounds as much like it came from you as possible. And then the same thing with Danielle. I want the 2 slides that are part of hers to sound just like what came from the YouTube video that we're posting there.
Okay. I might just take some screenshots from my actual video. Right? No?
No.
Like, shouldn't they be, the pictures represent what was said throughout the video?
Hang on just a second. Yes, but again, remember you were navigating to certain apps. Yeah. So those apps on those websites are in iTunes Store or wherever else. That's going to be, or the App Store, excuse me. Those are going to have on the website version, they're going to have big pictures, and they're going to have those in the frame. So they're going to show you what the app's like anyway, and then I'll be able to, because if you send me a screenshot of you shooting it in your little light box, then it's going to be low res, and then it's going to be, yeah. I'd rather have something that's nice and clean. Hang on just a second. I'm going to send you, or actually I'm going to share with both of you what I have here.
All right, what about if instead of the video, I just go to different screens, not a video, just go to different things on my iPad and just screenshot different stuff and crop it so that we're focusing in on different things. Like, I can, like, screenshot the 2 apps within the folder that I want them in, screenshot, and then, you know, crop it or, you know, make it focus on where I want the viewer to be looking, or, does that make sense or no?
Kind of, yeah. Hang on a second. I'm going to throw you something here. So I want to see. Let me get back to where I was last night. Here we go. Yeah, see, let's throw this at you. Pardon me while I share my screen. All right, everybody see my screen here?
Yeah.
Okay. So where you see these pages right here, so this is what I'm going to do, because this is what my media project from last night was. It's basically, I took a like a cropped version of this, and all I did was click the button through, and then I did my presentation for me. So it was a nice little slideshow that way. And what I want to do is have this white face with gold trim, because it looks good for one thing, and have that as kind of the frame, and then inside this frame, that's where I want to put everything that we talk about. So while I'm flipping through, what I'm going to show is a quad split like this, and you can see my cursor moving around, right?
Yep.
Okay. So what I want to do is a quad split like this. So one part's going to be numbers over here. The other part's going to be, you know, pages up in the corner. It's just going to be and then of course one part here is going to be keynote. You know, just so that I can come through and say, okay, well, you know, here are the productivity apps that are already built into that iPad.
So you can put pictures of each of those app icons. Okay.
Yep. Not the icons, but the actual, like this, like a screenshot, like their official screenshot within that frame.
So 4 quadrants showing that whole kind of thing.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
If I get really fancy, I may animate it, but I doubt it.
So I'm trying to think of what I should do then. If it's going to be different than my video.
Here. So your video was. Sorry, I'm gonna stop sharing now.
It was like navigating the iTunes, it was navigating the App Store, searching for an app, purchasing an app, creating a folder on the home screen of 2 related apps.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm wondering.
See, I think that I feel like I should just do screenshots of, like, you know, a few different things, and then maybe, you know, when it's time to talk about that particular screenshot, I would just kind of, whether it's me talking or you talking or whoever, you know, just describe how you get to that point.
Right.
And it's just kind of dictating what's needed to get there.
Pardon me. I'm looking for how to capture a screenshot. Oh, here. I'm going to send you a video. The biggest thing that I was worried about was the quality of it. And, you know, trying to shoot it in a light box like that probably not the best way to do it, but I will give you one of these, and then you can give me screenshots with what you're doing.
Not just press the sleep and home button?
Yes, that. Yep. If you can do that, that's going to look exactly like it will on the iPad, and that's perfectly fine with me.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. That's much better. Yeah, I just didn't want screen captures of the YouTube video that was coming off your iPhone that was shooting on the screen of, yeah. Yep. Okay, good. Me likey. Okay, so yes, that's your part, and then her part, and again, I'm going to want a write-up from both of you and then Patrick too of, okay, this is in my words how I would like to do this. I'm going to probably tweak it a little bit just to make it flow in the presentation, but as long as I'm emphasizing the same points that you wanted to emphasize in the media project, so that it sounds like it's the same intent and the same focus.
So is that write-up to put words in the slides, or are you going to be speaking the whole presentation?
I'll be speaking the whole presentation, but I'll be speaking from a script, of course.
Okay, so that's what it's for.
So what we need to do is just put our verbiage.
Yep.
And then send that to you, and you'll use that as a script.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
And like you said, this is a fairly easy assignment this week. There's not it's not a whole lot of rocket surgery this week. Let me take a look. Just to be sure one more time here, because yeah, we know that lots of these things come back and bite us, don't they?
Yeah.
Learner's critique reflects higher order thinking as evidenced by significant analysis of the tool. That's the thing with
literature is used to support assertions under demonstration and summary. So we need literature too.
Yep. So that's going to be the thing is one of you, for each one of your write-ups, give me a source. Give me something that says, boy, it's going to be kind of a bear though. Because what we're talking about here is going to be the bare basics of getting that through there. And, mine's going to be fairly easy because I'm going to say, well, this is from the Apple website. And this is how they want to do it. But there's just not much. And, this next bit here with the critique of reflects a higher order thinking. That's the whole point to an iPad. You don't have higher order thinking. It's supposed to be easy. Learners demonstrate exceptional confidence with the materials displayed. And that's, again, why I wanted to be able to put it together. If there's anything I can do, it's BS my way through a presentation. Presentation is professional, relatively free from APA. Yep. And we'll make sure that keeps clean, universal design principle. And again, it's not going to matter with APA because you're just speaking it. We're going to show pretty pictures because that's the whole point of this. It's a visual media, so you're going to present it visually.
So if we're using screenshots and whatever else from our own stuff that we create, like I use screenshots from my video, I won't need to reference anything, right?
Just where you got those from, how do you reference the iTunes store? That's
referencing, there's screenshots of my own presentation, like my own video that I made.
Right.
Showing the iTunes store, but it's not anything that I took from.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't think that would need anything.
No. Not really.
I'm going to try Patrick again.
Okay. What would really help is if we had, for literature using to support assertions, because our assertion from the beginning is that iPads are going to be relevant in the classroom. They're going to be used more. Teachers are having less professional development time. So if I can get either one of you to find some resources there that would show us, hey, this is how this school district in South Carolina, or like I was saying, Los Angeles School District, or anybody like that, is planning to, or is either
pack everything,
which we know they are, or they are, or they are running out of professional.
Are you driving right now?
Yeah.
I'm going to mute Cindy for a bit while she's talking to her.
Okay.
He's driving? Doesn't sound like a man who's going to be in a meeting anytime soon.
Nope.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to start recording as soon as she's off the phone, and we'll just make a quick 10-minute just to make sure we've got everything together, because we're already 42 minutes in from an hour delayed meeting. So we'll get that shortly.
Did you hear that?
I didn't. I had you on mute. What was going on?
He's walking into the house right now. He had to do pre-op stuff an hour and a half away at the hospital site, and he's just walking in the door, and he's going to log in.
Okay.
Did he ever post his second video? I know you said that there were two that you wanted to do, and I can't remember if you did both.
I didn't see a second one.
I didn't see the second one either. So not anything that he sent my way. So, but I put all three of yours in there. I didn't have mine done yet. I still don't have mine done yet, but I'll do that tonight. And that again, that's going to be what I was showing you, where it flips through and it's the slideshow. That's really all I'm putting together. I just need to script it, and then I'll put that in, and that's going to be my 631 submission as well.
Did you guys see the email that I sent out earlier about an updated version, like for week 4?
Yes, I kind of caught that because that was early this morning.
Because you know how we didn't know that it was a continuing document, and so we just did the portion for that week? Okay, so that was technically incomplete. So she told me, and I think I forwarded you guys the email. She said we can resubmit it through email. She's not going to clear out our submission and let us resubmit through Blackboard. She said we can resubmit through just by sending it to her by email. So I sent it out to you guys, and I CC'd Dr. Kordoff, so I bolded, so hopefully she would notice that was my personal resubmission. Yep. But she wants you guys to send it to her as well. And
I did it immediately after.
Okay, and I saw that you said back, Cindy, that you were still doing other updates, but what I had was exactly what we turned in last night, minus what we did last week. So
what I was talking about was for the final.
Okay, and that's all.
All I was saying was that there were some things like, like I put the graph on, or the chart, the flow chart on one page, and then I
and you know what?
Unbolded all those things. And
email it to each other and open it on a different computer. It always gets messed up. So I usually, for my own paper, before I submit it, I just go through and I just change the spacing on certain stuff, like make sure headings are with what they belong with on a certain page, because I know she's picky about that stuff, and it's going to change from computer to computer.
Yeah, and that's what I was finding, and it was kind of frustrating, but that's good to know that that's just the way it is sometimes.
She did not respond to me after I resubmitted through email.
Me neither.
I don't know if she plans on it or what, but I'll just keep checking my grade, and it is a huge difference from what we. So not only when I submitted from week 4, not only did we not have the prior week's work, but something happened with mine. I'm sure you guys were fine. I don't know what happened. My entire instructional strategy section did not make it into the submission, and I have no idea how.
Well, that's what there were things missing too, like the chart that I did for assessments. It wasn't on there too. So I don't know anyway, that was part of my question to you. If you had any idea.
I don't know. So that whole new thing that I just resubmitted is so much better, and so I hope there's a few points of an increase. It's 16 out of 20, so if she even gives me an 18 out of 20, I'm happy.
Long ways to walk for 2 points, I'll tell you that much.
really interesting because I have sent her some fairly lengthy emails, and she hasn't responded to me either. Anyway, so.
Okay. Live classroom session, yep. And besides just being there, we don't have to do anything for the live classroom session. It's not like we're bringing anything other than new media presentation. Collaborate with your IC team. Choose one technology.
It's a 2 or 3 hour meeting.
Yeah.
Because we're watching everyone's presentation. I don't know how that's happening. We watch it and then we come back to the meeting. I'm not sure. Because they have to be hosted on YouTube, I believe. So, like...
No, they're supposed to be to Blackboard.
Oh, well...
Yep, via the Blackboard submission link. Submit your multimedia.
No, I don't mean... They have to be... Let me look.
But that's the question is, do they have to be voiced over and complete, and then we just watch them while we're there, or do we actually do a live presentation
that
way? That's my question. And I got to find that out too, because that's not really. I mean, all it says is submit your multimedia presentation materials to the instructor, which means, yeah, I send you my PowerPoint, and then I talk over the PowerPoint when I get in there.
You know what? I bet, yeah, it's totally not clear at all. Okay, so yet another thing. We thought it was clear. It's not. It says after the class watches the recording, it must include voice. It has to include voices because it says we will reconvene in the live session for a 5-minute question and answer session. So we're not doing that. That does not mean that we're doing the presenting during the classroom session, right?
But then again, here under assignments for new media presentation, it's saying conduct a 15 to 20 interactive multimedia presentation, e.g. PowerPoint, video, polling, etc., that demonstrates the technology software, screenshots, screen sharing, etc., describes its features and general usage, identifies its strengths and weaknesses, and or discusses usability and sustainability. Conclude the presentation with a recommendation of how to integrate the tool into a specific education of your choice.
Yeah. And it says the recording should be, we're probably definitely posting the, where did it say? To Blackboard.
Yeah.
To Blackboard, but it says the recording should be posted to YouTube or other media sharing service, so YouTube, and is accessible to all students so that they can watch it. And then we come back to the live session and they'll ask questions and we answer. So we'll definitely clarify that with Dr. Corda, but that seems like that's what that is.
Okay.
Hi, Patrick. It is 193-880-216.
Number.
Harold, is it the same one from last?
No,
week?
it will be different.
Whoops. Sorry. Is it the same number from last week?
No, every meeting is going to be different.
Okay, he said it's a different number. Were you able to write it down? You got that number, that 193-880-216? Well, I don't see you. I'll put my phone down. I'll probably see you in a minute. Bye-bye. There you are. See you. Bye.
Is that a Patrick?
Hey, how are you doing?
Evidently better than you are.
Yeah, it's
dropped off tomorrow.
I have my knee surgery tomorrow.
Okay, so Patrick, what we've been talking about so far is just the media project for this week. We're putting together a presentation. What we've kind of come up with is that I need 2 screen. Do you have an iPad available to you, Patrick?
Not at home. I have one at work.
Okay. Put together 2 quick little screen, or 2 or 3 screen grabs that kind of condense the project that you just put together last night. And in fact, if you want to, well, I'll probably pull some of your video too, because you actually went out and shot stuff of people using the iPad too. So I'll probably use that as B-roll and kind of splice that in with a few other things too. The big debate we were just having that we talked about is that it's not really clear, and we're going to shoot to Dr. C here in a minute. There's conflicting information about, do I upload a PowerPoint and then give a live presentation, or do I upload a video with all the voiceover and everything else done? If that's the case, I'm absolutely going to use your B-roll. I'm going to make it look good. That's what I do.
Well,
So,
I have another one too that I sent today. I need to send it to you guys.
yes, please. We were just talking about that too. So once we have that, we'll have both of them. And then, so what I need is a couple of screenshots from you, kind of condensing what you got there. I'll definitely take what you've got uploaded. Did you upload it at like 720p or higher? What was the resolution that you uploaded?
Oh, I'm not even sure.
You're probably 720.
I know what that is. I mean, I don't.
Anything under 720, bad. Anything above 720, good. It's the lines of resolution down your screen. So if you start here, every line goes across, and there are 720 in a typical. So if you look at, like on YouTube, there's a little gear in the bottom corner. It'll tell you if it'll give you different options, and usually it comes up as like 360p or 720p. But if you're watching TV off air, if you're watching ABC and Fox, it's 720p. If you're watching CBS and NBC, it's 1080i, which is a whole different bag. Yeah. We don't get into interlink formats. Because we don't care interlink formats. See, this is what happens when you're teammates with a certified broadcast network engineer. That's the problem.
That's amazing.
Yep. We haven't gotten into all the bits where I'm actually good. But yes, also a very good video editor. So I'll make sure that once I see your footage, I'll probably throw that in there as B-roll too, just so I can show, especially in the intro. I want to say, oh, hey, look at all these kids using stuff in the classroom. Oh, isn't this fantastic? Yay! And then we'll go into what I want to have is in the middle of it a basic slideshow of the frame of an iPad. So Danielle, when you send me screenshots, can you send them to me landscaped? So turn it sideways and then send them screenshots that way. Because that's what we're just looking at on the Apple website. That's how they have it set up. It's all landscaped. And that's what I'm going to do is just copy it straight off of there.
As on a PowerPoint or Keynote slide, and then you can, just so that you can see how I was thinking it should be laid out, and then you just grab those and put them into however you want.
And you want to send me both how you want the finished product to look, and then the basic raw materials that you put into that as well.
Okay, so
if I need to manipulate, because I don't have Keynote, so if you send it to me as a Keynote, I'm going to have to kind of rigmarole that and figure out how I want to do it. But as much raw material as you can send me, and how you want it to look.
Whatever I send you, I mean, I'll do it in, what do I have? Oh no, I have PowerPoint. So I'll send it, but you can just grab the, you can grab the images and bring them to where you want, right? And save them?
Yep. And of course, the higher resolution, the better.
Right?
What's that?
I shouldn't need to send the images separately as well, right? Because you can just grab it from the presentation?
As long as you send them to me in high res. And again, we've got a high standard here with the stuff that's coming off of the Apple website, and I want it to look as close to that as I can possibly get, so that it will look more blended. And that's going to be at least, I think it's 600 pixels across, something like that. But whatever it is, it's fairly high resolution. So I want to make sure that we do that too. And even with what Cindy sent me, I'm going to use that as kind of a guideline, but I'm still going to get a higher resolution image of that, probably off their website. And again, I'm going to use that white border with the gold background too. Okay. Then I'll put something else there. And Patrick, Patrick, the same thing goes for you too. What's that?
Screenshots to represent what we created the other day, plus
yes,
like a script type thing.
Yep. What you want to say in it.
Straight script, yeah.
Yep. Because we're going to have the little intro where we're going to talk about, and that's where we're going to need some of those citations. So whatever you guys can send me as far as, this is how we, there are several things that we've talked about already, like no professional development time, how certain school districts are using them, how, so that we can kind of build a preface to this and say, well, it's very important now because these are being deployed for all these different school districts that teachers know how to use them, but they don't have professional development time. So therefore, we are doing, and then we go into the slideshow. And of course, I want to use some of your B-roll stuff too. I'm planning to just build a video and call it good. That way it's corked, it's done, it's in the can. I can edit what I need to in there. And it'll take me a couple hours, but it's a video editing project at that point. And I have a deadline, and after several years of editing news, I think I can do this. But that's where I wanted to go with it. Trying to think of anything else that I really wanted to shove in here. Patrick, have you got anything else that you thought about for the new media project?
Not really. It sounds like you guys came up with, some good ideas. I'm getting ready to email you guys the video now. This one is longer. It was actually 7 minutes, so it's pretty good stuff.
Okay.
So as far as, now, did she mention how she wants us, so everybody logs in? Is it a whole class thing, or is it just like us four meeting with her?
Nope, it's everybody, and we're going to sit around and watch everybody's presentations. So that's why we're booking like 2 or 3 hours for Friday.
Oh.
So, yeah, don't plan to go anywhere.
Friday, that's my thing, a Friday. Which, granted, I'll be sitting up here with my knee up, so I'll have nothing else to do anyway.
Yeah, where are you going, huh?
Nowhere.
Huh? You're not going anywhere. You sit there and you like it.
Right. Going nowhere.
Yep.
On Friday night.
But yeah, don't make Friday night plans. I can because it'll still be done by 5 o'clock, but you guys probably can't.
Right.
In fact, I'll probably go down and see my mom afterwards. Other than that, I think we're in pretty good shape. I mean, we probably need to, if anybody gets a chance, go back and take a look at the what we've submitted last night. Clean up anything else that you see. I think we took care of Patrick's bit where it didn't match the formatting in the first week or something like that. So that's been done.
So we did already do that? Because I was going to do that.
Again, I think that's in there, but, it doesn't hurt to go back and fiddle it more.
Yeah, I'll go back and look at it some more.
And another thing with the tables, I'm thinking especially after we submitted the one last night, the way that I finessed Danielle's table that she had looks more consistent with what I'm seeing in a lot of these peer-reviewed articles that I'm seeing in journals. No color, very basic formatting, but clean and highlighting the headers. And then
should I
one of the
redo
thick
the
borders.
flow chart again? Because that had color. Because I could easily.
Maybe. You got to remember with a lot of these, the whole point to the APA format is so that it will print easily in black and white. And if you have color on color, especially gradients of color like brown on orange or something like that, it's not going to show up when you print it to black as a grayscale. So that's something as black and white as you can make it. that's going to be a lot better. And of course, that big table that you had, the kind of orange one with the white text and all that stuff, that's probably going to be stripped down to just a real thin border, and it's going to be a lot more compact in there too, and it's going to look a lot better. And like I said, it's going to be, whatever we do for tables, they got to be consistent, so that they're looking the same way all the way through.
Right.
By the time we get done with this, it shouldn't look like 4 people made it. It should look like it's one consistent message all the way through.
Okay.
Other than that, do you guys have anything else that we need to worry about? It's just a couple of slides that I need from everybody. Again, landscape format, not vertical format. And I'm going to see your videos here pretty soon, Patrick. Other than that, I think screenshots, script, whatever raw materials you want to send me. You cannot send me too much stuff for this, because I can always throw it in. Everything you throw in is going to be another couple of seconds here, and it's going to make it less of a boring, monotonous slideshow. Here's this, here's that, here's that. The more fun stuff that we can put in there, the more engaging it's going to be, the higher the score is going to be. And again, it takes me a couple of seconds to resize it, pop it in. There you go. Drop it in the timeline. I'm very good with that. I did my own music video show for 6 years, so I think I can put together a slideshow. I'd never even touched PowerPoint until my father-in-law passed away last year, and somebody said, well, we want to put together a PowerPoint. Okay, great, I'll help out with that. Oh, everybody's gone. You're going to need to do this yourself. Okay, I never touched PowerPoint before, but you know what? I've done Photoshop, I've done video editing, so it looked like a very good PowerPoint by the end of it. And everyone was happy. Well, happy as you can be at a memorial, but.
See how it comes out.
Okay. Anything else, guys?
Good.
Okay, sounds good.
Patrick,
thank you, everybody.
Praying for you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much.
When should I wait to call to check on you?
Well, I should be home. It's early in the morning, so I should be home around about 9, 10 o'clock. I don't know how long the anesthesia will last.
So I'll wait till Wednesday.
Might be a phone call tomorrow.
That's true.
Right.
All right.
Everybody.
Good night.
Good night, folks.
Night.
Good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.